What up, guys? So I wanted to get into kind of a fun topic, and it's kind of backdooring yourself into European citizenship via a Caribbean golden visa. Now, there are a plethora of islands throughout the Caribbean that are still overseas territories or Commonwealth islands protected by the Dutch, the French, and the British. And in case you're wondering, that you're not going to be able to backdoor yourself into a French citizenship. They have bogarted that completely. That's not going to work. You can't even really get a digital nomad for French Guiana. You can't, kind of moonwalk your way in. That's not going to work. So France, you're kind of you're not going to do anything with France, at least in the Caribbean. The Dutch and the English, though, there are some options. So if you're interested in getting a European citizenship but living in the Caribbean, there are a number of options, so keep watching. Of course, before we go any further, I just want to throw out with Puerto Rico, if you are a native Puerto Rican, as in born on Puerto Rico, you can qualify for Spanish citizenship. You move there, you live there for 2 years, and you will be granted Spanish citizenship as long as you file all the paperwork. That only works if you were born on Puerto Rico. You can't move to Puerto Rico and then claim Puerto Rican citizenship or residency. That doesn't work. You have to have been born in a former Spanish colony. So not just Puerto Rico, but if you were born in Venezuela or Chile or Argentina, Colombia, or something like that, this works. But because we're specifically targeting the Caribbean, I just wanted to throw that out for Puerto Rico. Of course, it's not a digital nomad or a golden visa, but thought I'd throw that out there just to start. But anyways, for people that aren't born and raised Puerto Rican and are instead looking for maybe a secondary visa, passport, you want to retire in a different location, the rest of this is for you. And so we're going to go alphabetically with this. And so Anguilla is one of the most expensive golden visa options. You basically got to pump in at least $750,000 for like a real estate golden visa, but it's costly. But you can do it that way, or you can go with another option that's called a high value resident golden visa. With this, you will be basically tossing $75,000 a year for 5 years to be given like a local citizenship on the island. So you're paying half of the $750,000 property golden visa, which you would use for a condo or a property or whatever. With the high value resident golden visa, you're just basically throwing all that money away. You'll be given your residency, but you're not getting anything out of it. So that's kind of you got to decide which works for you. But either way, you stay on that, and after 5 years, you are given what is known as a British Overseas Territory Passport. Now, you are technically a British national at this point after 5 years, but you're not a British citizen yet. Now, with the British Overseas Territory Passport, or as a British national, you would kind of you're able to go to the other British overseas territories. You're able to go to England. You're able to, you get some benefits out of it, but you don't have the true power of a full-fledged British passport until you stay for 10 years and you're given the British citizenship passport. So keep that in mind. For every British overseas territory that offers this, it's going to take 10 years to get the official British citizenship passport. So, but if you just want the overseas territory passport, that's just 5 years. So something to keep in mind. But next, Cayman Islands. Cayman Islands is the most expensive Caribbean nation where you can get the golden visa, where for the property investment, you're going to be spending over $2 million for that. Now, there is a couple of ones that are about half that for about $1.2 million. Now, there's a lot of more paperwork. There's a lot more strings attached. There's different variations going on. But if you have that money and you're interested in the Cayman Islands, definitely look into that. but very similar to Anguilla and all the other British overseas territories in the Caribbean that does this. You will get the overseas territory passport after 5 years and British citizenship after 10 years. When you're between that 5 and 9 year mark, you're considered a British citizen overseas. That is the official term for it, but it's just something to keep in mind. Okay, this next one, Curacao, for which is just located just north of Venezuela. This to me is, for me personally, if I had to earmark one of them, is the best one. Now it comes with Dutch citizenship and not British, so whatever. But I mean, I think there's a lot of benefits for this one. One, you can qualify for a property gold investment visa. Buy yourself a condo, something like that, for about $280,000. It goes up, but that is an attractive price. So that's a good thing. Two, based on its geographical location, it is so far south that it's going to miss hurricane season. You might get some rain off put, but like the northern tip of South America doesn't get hurricanes really. Like it all kind of curves up into the Gulf. So you're going to miss that. So that's great for your property. You're not going to be rebuilding all the time. Property insurance isn't going to be bad or as expensive. A lot of benefits. So location-wise, beneficial. Third, Dutch citizenship. The Netherlands is still part of the EU, so you got a lot of additional benefits when you become an EU citizen. It's much easier to do things throughout the rest or the majority of Europe than what a British passport offers. The British passport doesn't have the same kind of catchiness of that EU passport, in my opinion. So that's a benefit. In case you're not sure, the Dutch, Netherlands, Amsterdam, stuff like that. And probably the most attractive for this is it only takes 5 years to get full-fledged Dutch citizenship. Unlike the British ones where it takes 10 years, this only takes 5, so you're cutting that in half. And the price is better. I feel like this is like one of the best real estate golden visa options that you can backdoor your way into European citizenship. So the Dutch have other overseas territories that include Aruba and Sint Maarten. Neither of those offers any kind of golden visa, and you can't get citizenship those places. You can get into residency, but you don't get citizenship. Because you become a Dutch citizen with the Curaçao location, you are able to get a lot more benefits on those other two islands. Like you can go to Aruba and stay for up to 180 days. On your U.S. passport, you're only able to stay up to 90 days. So you're automatically doubling the amount of time you can stay in those places. You can stay for half a year. So very beneficial. Okay, next is Montserrat. Again, this is another British option. And if you're just looking for a financially affordable one, this might be the best investment golden visa in the Caribbean. It's actually, I believe, it's either tied for the least expensive or there's another location that sometimes is, kind of changes its price depending on how popular it is. And so sometimes Montserrat is the best option, sometimes it's the second best financial option. But, if you just want to pay like $200,000 for golden visa, it's great. It's also the only Caribbean island where you can take your digital nomad visa and turn it into European citizenship. It is the only option in the Caribbean that, you can do that with. Now, with the digital nomad visa for Montserrat, you have to be making at least $70,000 to qualify. So it is on the higher end of the financial spectrum for DNVs, but it's something to consider. Of course, based on its location, it is right in the middle of the, hurricanes will probably fly over that. So keep that in mind. But if you don't mind bouncing around and maybe kind of leaving during hurricane season, it's a solid option. But Yeah, so those are all the options in the Caribbean where you can backdoor your way to European citizenship with a golden visa. So not bad. You know, sometimes applying for citizenship in the UK or in the Netherlands, that is long-winded. There's a lot of paperwork. It's expensive. It's expensive to live there. You know, you got to deal with the winters and blah. Why not live in a Caribbean paradise while you're working towards your European citizenship? I think that's solid. But that's just my opinion. But anyways, I wanted to give you some options. I find this very fascinating and I wanted to share it with you. But anyways, like, subscribe, do all the good stuff. And for now, I will catch you guys later.